On this part of our chapter, let's have the main topic, which is the cash flow statement. What is this cash flow statement? So CFS provides an analysis of inflows and or outflows of cash from or to operating, investing, and financing activities. This is according to Deloitte Global Services Limited 2015. This statement shows cash transactions only compared to the SCI, which follows the accrual principle. So, kino-compare siya doon sa SCI, which it follows the accrual principle. It means naka-anchor pa rin siya doon sa accrual principle, pero ang focus na ngayon, yung mga cash inflows and outflows. Ano kasi ibig sabihin ng inflows at outflows? Pag inflows, saan papunta yung pera? Tama, papunta doon sa business, papasok. Pag outflows, palabas. Sa isang business, hindi naman puro inflows, hindi naman palaging papasok yung pera. Sometimes, we need to outflows. Kaya nga nagkakaroon tayo ng expenses, di ba? Ano ba ang layunin ng expenses, di ba? We are expensing money in hope that we will generate revenue. Gusto rin natin, kaya tayo naglalabas ng pera, gusto natin mas malaki yung babalik. So let's learn together. For question 1, what is the importance of CFS? Ano yung importansya ng CFS? Pero bago natin alamin yung importansya niya, ayan, you need to understand the three main factors under cash flow statement. Those are the operating, investing, and financing activities. So, kumbaga, yan yung nagdi-divide, no? Yung pera para sa operation, para sa investment, and para sa finances. What is the importance? So, the CFS or cash flow statement provides the net change in the cash balance of a company for a period. This helps owners see if their revenues are actually translated to cash collection or if they have enough cash inflows in order to pay any maturing liability. So napaka-importante pala ng CFS, no? Dahil sa CFS ipapakita niya yung pagbabago ng pera ng company. At papakita niya rin ba kung yung bang pera, yung pumasok ba na pera ay makakapagbayad doon sa mga liabilities. Masasatisfy ba nung pera na yun or nung cash na yun yung mga liabilities na meron sa isang company. So, let's have a simple example of CFS. Ito yung example natin ng cash flow statement. So, example ng company, we have ABM Accounting Company. Cash flow statement, ayan yung part ng heading. Do not forget, no? Under the part of heading, we have the name of the company, what kind of statement, and the accounting period. For the year ended December 31, 2016, why do we use for the year? It means yan, yung pera na nakapasok dito sa statement ay para lang sa taong 2016. Okay? So, nag-start ang accounting period ng January 1, 2016 at matatapos siya, ayan nga, ended in December 31, 2016. So, hindi po kasama yung mga nauna, yung pang 2015. Kung meron man, mamaya papakita ko ano yung nadamay dun sa 2015 accounting period. So, kung mapapansin nyo, nahahati yan sa tatlo. We have the cash flows from operating activities. Next, the cash flows from investing activities. And lastly, the cash flows from financing activities. So, ayan, yung mga, kumbaga, ito yung mga process, no, na involve ang cash. The operating, the investing, and the financing. Next, may nakalagay dito na cash, January 1, 2016. Yung cash ng January 1, 2016, ito yung balance or natira doon sa previous accounting period na kailangan mag-reflect sa year 2016. So it means itong 580,000, dapat magre-reflect yan sa next accounting period for 2017. Now, let's scrutinize and analyze each of the part of this CFS. By the way, This is an example of direct approach. So direct approach, ipapakita mo na agad diretso kung ano yung operating, ano yung investing, at ano ang financing. So dito, ito yung title, kumbaga, no? And these are the sub-entries. Ito yung mga entries natin, mga accounting entries. First, we have the receipt from customers. Magkano yung receipt from customers? Means, ito ay 1 million pesos. So we have the receipt from customers which is amounting 1 million pesos. Next, payments to suppliers and employees. So kasali na dyan yung cost of goods sold. Magkano yung ginastos mo para dun sa ibebenta mo at yung mga pasweldo mo sa mga employees. Example, it is amounting 700,000 pesos. Ngayon, ano ang mangyayari, no? Sa tingin nyo, eto bang receipts from customers? Is it an inflows or an outflows? Tama. This is an inflows. Papasok sa company or dun sa business. So, i-add natin sa cash yan. Next, how about payments to suppliers and employees? Inflows or outflows? Correct? That is for outflows. Kaya nga, papansinin ninyo, kapag outflows yan, nilalagyan natin ng open and close parenthesis. So, yun ang palatandaan natin. Open and close parenthesis for outflows. So, it means dahil outflows yan, that is a deduction to the cash of the company. Kaya nga, ang ating net cash generated by operating activities ay 300,000 pesos. Okay? So yung pera na makukuha natin under operating activities ay 300,000 pesos because 1 million minus 700,000 is 300,000 pesos. Yun ang unang part dito sa laman ng CFS. Next, how about this one? Cash flows from investing activities. So, ito naman ay about sa pera no, na ginamit or pumasok sa investment. First, purchases of property and equipment. So, halimbawa, nag-purchase ka ng property and equipment. That is under your investment. Kasi pwedeng gagamitin mo yan para kumita. No? Bibili ka ng isang bagay para kumita. So, magkano? That is 150,000 pesos. Now, what is the net cash used in investing activities? So, may parenthesis pa rin, open and close parenthesis. Bakit? Kasi this is an outflows. Bumili ka kasi. Hindi naman pwedeng bumili ka na tapos siya pa yung nagbayad sa'yo. Hindi. Ikaw yung bumili, ikaw yung magbabayad, maglalabas ka ng pera. So, open and close parenthesis. Next, the third part is the cash flows from financing activities, no? Ano yung mga financing na yan? It's something to do with bank at investment ng owner. Okay? First, we have the long-term loan from a bank. So, long-term loan from a bank. Kaya that is 300,000 pesos. Next, additional investment from the owner. So, etong mga yan, kadagdagan sa pera. Inflows. Bakit? Nang utang ka naman eh. So, it means pag nang utang ka, hindi ka pa naman nagbayad. So, nang utang ka, pumasok muna yung pera sa'yo. So, i-consider natin yon as inflow dahil nang utang tayo sa bangko, papasok sa atin. Then, nag-invest pa yung owner. So, 100 plus 300. So, meron tayong 400,000 na inflows under financing activities. But, meron naman withdrawals by the owners. From the name itself, withdrawals. Di ba pinag-aralan natin itong withdrawals? At yung withdrawals niya ay 80,000 pesos. So, kumuha din pala si owner ng 80,000 pesos. So, magiging ano yun, inflows or outflows? Obviously, that is outflows doon sa cash ng company. Therefore, the net cash from generated by financing activities is 320,000 pesos. Ayan. So, ang inflows natin sa financing activities ay 320,000 pesos. Ang inflows natin sa operating activities ay 300,000 pesos. At ang ating outflows naman, outflows kasi yung natira, para sa investing activities ay 150,000 pesos. Therefore, add the two inflows. So pag-add natin yung dalawang inflows, so we have 300 plus 320,000 is equal to 620,000 pesos. So ang inflows natin ay 620,000 pesos minus 150,000 dahil yung ang outflows is equal to 470,000 pesos. So it means po, the net increase. Ngayon, halimbawa, nakita mo, pag pinag-add-add mo lahat yan, negative yung nakuha mo. So hindi increase ang ilalagay natin dito, other decrease. But on this case, increase ang nakalagay dahil nga nadagdagan. The net increase in cash and cash equivalents is 470,000 pesos. Plus the beginning cash on January 1, 2016 is 100,000 pesos. So kapag pinag-add-add po natin yung mga yan, ano ang magiging sagot? So if we add 470,000 plus 100,000, therefore we have 570,000 pesos. So the ending cash for that accounting period is 570,000. Nakuha po ba natin yung concept ng cash flow statement? Kung mapapansin nyo, wala naman account liabilities or asset or equity. Rather, nakafocus talaga siya dun sa mga accounting entries na about sa kaperahan. No? So we have 570,000 ang ating ending cash after an accounting period. Let's try together. Ayan. Alamin natin yung mga parts niyan. Ayan. Bagamat na-discuss na natin, pero focus tayo dito sa two approaches of CFS. First approach is we have the direct or yung direct na tinatawag. The operating cash flow section of the CFS under the direct method would show each major class of gross cash receipts and gross cash payments. That is according to the Elliott Global Service. Example nga niyan yung nandito sa atin, yung nasa side. Next, the indirect naman, medyo complicated siya. The operating cash flow section of the CFS under the indirect method will reconcile the net income or net loss of the company with the total cash flows generated or used in operating activities by adjusting the net income or loss for effects of non-cash transaction. So may mga involved pa dito na non-cash transaction. So hindi siya pera pero pwedeng cashless pero under pa rin ng transaction. But dito sa accounting 2 natin or fundamentals of accounting 2, magfo-focus lang kayo dito sa direct. Ito nga yung example natin para hindi naman tayo masyadong mahirapan. However, no, mahaba-haba pa naman yung journey natin as an ABM student, lalo na kapag tinuloy nyo pa yan sa college ninyo, mas maintindihan ninyo ano yung indirect or indirect. Pero ngayon, focus tayo dito sa direct. Note, the two are only approaches and will yield the same amount of cash flow from operating activities. Next, the investing and financing section of CFS are the same under the two approaches. So nagkakaiba lang pala doon sa operating section, no? Yung bandang unang part dito sa may operating. Kasi nga, papakita mo pa dyan, kailangan mag-reconcile muna yung net loss or net income. Ayan, bago ka mag-proceed sa investing and financing. Pero sa investing and financing, pareho lang yan sa dalawang approaches. Again, just like yung mga nauna nating statement or types of statement, may mga format sila, may mga types sila, pero they will always yield on the same amount. Pareho pa rin yung amount nila. Kasi once na may nag-ibang amount dyan, may nawawalang kaperahan or may nadagdag na pera. Tandaan natin, kapag meron pong parenthesis, that represents the outflows. Kapag wala, that is for the inflows. Ano yung mga parts? Ayan, na-discuss na natin. So when we say operating activities, these are the activities that are directly related to the main revenue producing the activities of the company, such as cash from customers and cash paid to suppliers, employees. Investing activities naman, these are the cash transactions related to purchase or sale of non-current assets. So when we say non-current assets, it's something to do with the long-term assets. So hindi po yung binayaran mo ngayon, this year, tapos na hindi. So pang matagalan yan. Financing activities, these are cash transactions related to changes in equity and borrowing. So, pwedeng yun ay nag-loan ka ng pera, kumuha ka ng pera, nag-invest ka ng pera kung ikaw yung owner, kasama yan sa financing. Net change in cash or net cash flow, pwedeng increase or decrease. These are the net amount of change in cash, whether it is an increase or decrease for the current period. The total change brought by operating, investing, and financing activities. Next, beginning cash balance. This is the balance of the cash account at the beginning of the accounting period. Just like dito sa example natin, ang ating beginning cash ay 100,000 kasi nga nag-start yung accounting period natin ng January 1, 2016. And lastly, yung bandang dulo, yan yung tinatawag nating ending cash balance. The balance of the cash account at the end of the accounting period computed using the beginning balance plus the net change in cash for the current period. On the next part of our discussion, we will be seeing an example of an indirect approach of the CFS and some of the accounting entries or yung mga accounting entries na nagpo-fall dito sa CFS.